These are tile leveling clips, and in this video, I'm gonna show you 5 things that you need to know. So if you're doing a home project or you're setting tile for the first time, second time, kind of new to it, I would really recommend using these leveling clips. They're gonna help you tremendously, give you a really professionally finished product. So the first thing you need to know about these leveling clips is that they're all different, but they're really all the same. In other words, they have different shapes, as you can see, different colors. Whatever sort or type you have, they're all like an upside down T. You put it like that, and what they're designed to do is they're designed to go in between 2 tiles just like this. You stick this one underneath here, and this one like that, and then you put this one is a wedge one, so you stick it here, and what it does is it pushes and pulls these tiles. If one needs to go higher, this will go higher, this will go lower, and it makes them pretty flat right there. Then when the tiles dry, the next day you could just grab your foot and kick this off, and this will break off just like this, and so will the wedges. So these wedges are completely reusable. You buy it once, you can save them for all your jobs. These are not reusable because this tab breaks off and this bottom part actually permanently stays underneath the tile. Same with this twister kind, same concept. It goes underneath. Once it's dry, you kick it, or you could use a rubber mallet if it's on a wall. You can't kick that high. So here are the few different types. They call them twisters. You put them in between your tile just like this. And it has a twister that twists down and goes just like that. And then what it does is it does the same thing. It pushes and pulls this 2 tiles to get it nice and flat. You make it real tight, and it makes it nice and level. Some people love these because it seems like you can get a lot more torque. By turning it down, you get a lot more pressure. Another good benefit of these, as you can see here, watch, I'm gonna put 2 of these together. Let me put this one in here. The benefit is, look how higher this is. So with these kinds of twister ones, you can get thicker tile. So a lot thicker tile. This tile is thin, is about what, 1/4 inch, 3/8 of an inch, and so this wedge goes under here. But imagine if this tile was thicker, this wedge wouldn't even fit in there. With this twister kind, it's a lot longer, so you could have a really thick tile, say 1/2 inch tile, 5/8 inch tile, 3/4 inch tile I've set before, and this thing will still go down. Look at how much room you have to get that. So that is one of the big differences between these twisting kind and the wedge kind. The problem with the twisting kind is, a lot of complaints have come in, is when you twist it down like this, what happens is it tends to spread the joints a little bit. It can, when you're going down like this, when you put a little pressure, this turning motion, see how it's turning to the right? What it will do is it will push this to the right and have it open up a little bit. So this brand Troxel, they do have anti-motion plates that you could, it's a little plastic plate you stick underneath this before you put the twister on, and it keeps it from opening up. So that's just one of the cons about those. The reason I like to use the wedge clips is because you just stick it on with your hand. It's really easy to go. Some of them have these little guns you can use. You're just supposed to put it like that and squeeze it on like that. I never use these. It's another tool to carry, and I like to be able to feel it with my fingers. So most of the guys I know, we just do it by hand like that. Not a big problem. One thing you need to know about these wedges is they are directional the way you put them. In other words, if you want the tile to go more this way, I would push it that way. If you need the tile to go more that way, I would put it in and push it that way. Another way these are directional is if this tile is higher and you need it to go lower, I put the fat part on the high part, so it's more pressure to push down on it, okay? So if this tile's higher and this tile needs to go lower, then put this wedge clip this way, so when you push on it, the fat part of the wedge is going to push down more. So the second thing you need to know is that they do not fix uneven surfaces. They do give you push and pull, but the surface is meant to be flat. If you push and pull too much, you can get into problems. So I'm going to give you an example here. I'm going to put this little towel here like that to pretend that that part of the floor is a little higher. So there we go, right there. And this guy here. So you can see we got major problems here. You know, this floor is a lot lower than this tile. So you can stick them on there, but it's not meant to fix this kind of a problem. So this right here is a major problem. And if you see something like this, there's something wrong. You should not, I mean, look, you can put this on here like this and it will peel that tile up. You see, so you're gonna get a good finished product. But the problem is a lot of people can do it like this without properly prepping their floor. And look at this gap right here. You're gonna end up with a big old hollow spot underneath your floor. People are gonna walk around and they're gonna be like hearing their shoes echo off your floor. With that being said, if you're setting your tile floor and you notice one tile is a little lower than the other, then it's a sign before you put these wedges in or clips to level it, go ahead and pull that tile up, and then you could put more thin set mortar underneath it to get it. It should be kind of close. It shouldn't be that bad. If it's that bad or even super low, I wouldn't allow this to pull it up. You're gonna lose your bond. So you wanna, if you set your tile down before you put these wedges in and you notice it lower, go ahead and fix it, pull it up, put more mortar down there, get it pretty close, and then just use it. So just use these for minor adjustments, not major differences. And number 3, make sure you have enough thin set. And the reason is, if you go too thin, the thickness of this little thing right here, it won't even, if you use like a 1/4 inch trowel, it's gonna get in the way because you push it down. So you wanna have enough thin set for this to slide under the tile like that without getting in the way like that. So, and then you want to have enough thin set so the tiles can push and pull without losing bond. You want to allow them to go up and down without losing bond. So make sure you are using at least a 3/8 inch trowel. And sometimes you don't feel, if you're noticing them having trouble getting in there, go ahead and put 3/8 inch on the back of the tile and as well as on the surface that you're tiling. Or a 1/2 inch. I've actually, some bigger projects I've used 1/2 inch on both spots, obviously with a large format mortar. Number 4, they are not fail proof. Even with a properly prepped subsurface, we mud floated a shower wall, perfectly flat, okay, perfectly flat, mud floated shower wall, tiled it up, use these same clips right here, and we had an issue where you could still see lippage on there. So you can't just blindly put them in your tile and think it's gonna look great. You have to check it and make sure that you're not getting lippage. And that goes to another thing. You wanna make sure where you're putting these. You know, sometimes, you know, you wanna put them on the corners. I'd put one here, I'd put one here. You know, make sure that you get all the corners well. If it's a larger tile, you wanna put it in the middle. So these are so helpful for plank tiles, 3-foot plank tiles, 4-foot plank tiles. You know, the big ones, 4 foot, you sometimes will put like 5 on the edge. So don't skimp on using these. Once you set a few rows of tile, you'll know how much of these you need to put down to make sure it's gonna be nice and flat and do what you want it to do. The last one is a bonus tip. So what you wanna do is when you clip these in, for example, these, if it's in here like this, you wanna make sure that you're grabbing a grout brush, a toothbrush, something like that, and get in there and clean these joints with thin set. Do not allow mortar, especially in here. If you put it in here, you see mortar in between this right here. You want to clean it with a brush and then sponge it away, because what happens is if you leave thin set on here and you're ready to kick this off when you're done, this tab will not come loose if it's all cemented in there with mortar. It's gonna get stuck, and then it's a pain. So what you're gonna have to do is have to get a knife and cut these tabs off carefully without chipping your tile to get it out. So the key is, if you take the thin set out of there before you kick them off, the tabs will come off nice and clean, just like this one. So I hope this video answered a lot of your questions about these leveling clips. They're amazing. I highly recommend them. If you have any questions, or maybe something I didn't cover in this video, go ahead and put it in the comments, and I'll make sure we get you all the info you need to help your tile job be very successful. Thanks for watching, and as always, tile on, my friends.